What were your overall impressions of your 2 weeks with the adventure project?
My overall experience was absolutely wonderful. First and foremost, obviously, I came here looking forward for the skiing, which didn't disappoint me at all. It was absolutely unbelievable terrain. Um, the mountain is incredible. Um, the thing that probably impressed me the most, I was I guess a little hesitant or reticent about the thought of coming halfway around the world to an area that a lot of people had considered in the past. Maybe it was a little dangerous. Didn't feel that at all. It was wonderful. Felt very safe. Um, the experience with the guides was wonderful. The level of safety that they put us through, the training, um, made me feel very at ease, very comfortable, and not hesitant about going up on the mountain and skiing. It was a very safe environment, which I appreciated a lot. Um, some other things about the trip. I mean, whenever I've traveled in the past, one of the things for me that was part of the experience was the culture. For me, getting out and seeing the world is um, about experience a different culture, a different way of life, other people, their foods, their attitudes. And the Kashmiris did not let me down on that at all. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful people. Warm, hospitable, smiles, hugs. Um, and for me, I want to experience stuff like that. It was the food. The food was incredible. I wasn't sure I'd had some curries before in my life, but um, I ended up just eating like a horse every night and loving it. Um, the areas that we went to, the Gulmarg itself was beautiful, stunningly beautiful, picturesque scenery. Um, like I said, just gorgeous people. The hotels were wonderful. The staff was wonderful. It was something I'm definitely going to remember for a very, very, very long time.
Were there any skills, whether with your skiing or your understanding of backcountry safety, that you think you have developed on this trip?
Yeah, no, absolutely. In both accounts. Um, Obviously, coming with a group where your guides are certified instructors helps a lot because they're not just there to guide you, they're there to give you tips on your skiing. And I've skied for many, many years. Felt that I'm very accomplished in certain areas and that I lack in certain areas. They were wonderful about pointing out some of those areas that I needed to work on. Um, and I was able to, which was great. And I felt that my skiing got a lot better through this trip. Um, Backcountry wise, like I said before, I felt very safe in the way that we did our training setups. I know that when we got there, we had a day where we did a lot of beacon training, which I was very surprised in the fact that we were one of the few groups that were doing it from some of the other groups that were also in the area. And it made me feel very safe. Um, Also, some backcountry etiquette as far as when we were up on the mountain. Um, the guides would point out areas to us that I might not have looked at before as possible warning signs, warning areas. You may want to look out for undercutting this slope. There's some wind slab over here. There was a lot of things that I just was not aware of as far as my own backcountry skills that they helped develop while I was there, and I thought that was excellent.
Okay, so if there were any real kind of positive moments or positive experiences that really stood out to you, and any things that maybe you would do differently having experienced this trip if it was your second rodeo.
Okay, I'm going to start with the negatives because there weren't that many. Okay, um, obviously it's tough getting here. That was a taxing to me, just the travel time getting here. once I got here, obviously it was so worth it. It was unbelievable. Um, Other things negative wise might be I had a little boutness of sickness, but that it happens when sometimes when you're in parts of the countries like this in the world. Um, so maybe a tip that I would give to people that are thinking of coming over is the preparation that you might have in doing so. Um, Definitely bring maybe some Western toilet paper that helps in what you're used to. Um, be prepared with what you might have as far as your medicines. I ended up having to get some antibiotics at the airport, which I ended up having to use, obviously, but it helped tremendously in my recovery to get back up. I was only down for a few days, and then I was able to get back up on the mountain. Um, Positive experiences, there are so many I can't even explain. One of the best for me is living in a ski area. I'm obviously very used in the West, in America, to the type of mountains that we have in the western slopes. And one of the things that was really impactful to me when I got here was the scale of the mountains. I had traveled to the Himalayas before, so I was used to the scale of the mountain, but not the scale of the skiing. Um, to have 4,000 vertical feet of 40-degree pitch where you could ski for an hour nonstop if you wanted to on the same sustained pitch. Now, obviously, we weren't doing that. We were stopping and whatnot. But at the end of the day, when you're done and you've only done 2 runs for the whole day and you are absolutely exhausted, was a wonderful feeling. I absolutely loved that, and looked forward to the next day. Um, I talked about the interaction with the people and uh, befriending the guides and having it feel like you were part of there was a camaraderie there, and that you were out enjoying doing something that everybody enjoyed, and also the fellow travelers that we met. That was a high point for me. Meeting people that were like-minded, that were just as jazzed about being in the area as you were, and sitting down over dinner and reveling over their accomplishments for the day as well as yours, was something I looked forward to every evening. So, I mean, I could go on and on about the positives, but if you're thinking about doing this and you're, on the fence at all, you need to get off that fence. You need to buck up. You need to sign up, and you need to come over here and have a wonderful experience that you will never forget for the rest of your life.
Right, so who do you think this trip is suitable for, and who do you think that this trip might not be the most suitable for?
I would say that the trip's suitable for people that are adventurous, open-minded, want to explore the world, see new cultures and people, have the mindset of they're open-minded and want to experience what this has to offer, in the whole aspect. And I guess the opposite would be if you're hesitant about traveling, you've never been before, you are not a people person, you might find that a little difficult to enjoy yourself as much as you should while you're here.
Cool. So, if you wanted to come back, why would you come back, and what kind of things, would you look forward to the most?
Oh, wow. Would I come back? In a heartbeat? And I am actually already, not only considering but wanting to make plans and save the money so that I can come back tomorrow for, as my guides are saying, my second rodeo. I would obviously be a little bit more prepared with what to expect, obviously, as far as what the mountain has to offer, the food that I'd be receiving, the hospitality, and I would be looking forward to that because I enjoyed it so much the first time. I actually can honestly say that I made friends with a lot of the locals, the people that were in the hotel and helping us. and I really want to look forward to seeing them again next year. Um, it was, yeah, it's. I'm totally looking forward to doing this again. It's such an amazing experience, and I would love to do it every year if I could. And I'm going to try my best to do it every year. So, um, if somebody's out there thinking of doing that and wants the experience of just sucking up life and what the world has to offer, you need to start putting the pennies aside and fixing to come out here to Gulmarg. It's incredible.